We're out here in East Yorkshire in what looks like the middle of an empty agricultural field. But 2,000 years ago, we think it was something much, much more than that. We think this was once the site of a Roman villa or a high-status homestead. We've spent the last 5 or 6 days looking for evidence to see whether or not we're right, and we think we're starting to find it. So how do you know you found a Roman villa, and what are the key signs that you can look out for? Well, let's have a look. Number 1, so the first sign that we may have found a Roman villa or other fancy Roman building is the roof tiles, which you found plenty of, haven't you, Mark?
Absolutely, yes, and we have here a tegula that we found just down here in the soil. Which was the tile that went against the roof, the wooden roof rafters, with the rough side down, which nobody could see, and the smooth side here, which allowed the rain to run through. And it has a lip here, which imbrex, the other tile, curves round over. And we found a part of an imbrex just further on down here. So
both parts of the roof?
Yeah, both parts of the roof.
The tegula and the imbrex, lovely.
Pretty comprehensive proof of the roof.
Proof of the roof, I like it.
Proof of the roof, yes.
So the second sign that we might have found a Roman villa is...
mosaics. Mosaic floors made up of these tessera. So lots and lots of these put together give you a nice tessellated surface. Mosaic.
Would they have been different colours?
Yes. So depending on the type of mosaic, you'll have different patterns. So you'll have small white pieces and different coloured bits and pieces, as well as these orange terracotta coloured pieces.
So I think in our collection that we've found so far, we've got orange ones, we've got white ones, and we've got sort of brownish ones. So we can imagine this beautiful sort of 3-coloured floor that might have once been somewhere under this field.
Lots of geometric patterns, that's what I kind.
Amazing. All right, time for number 3. So number 3, the third sign that we might have found a Roman villa are these pretty big post holes. Now we know that post holes on their own don't necessarily mean a Roman villa. They could be any age really, but there is something that suggests these could have been part of it. So in this post hole we found it packed with chalk, and then also some oyster shells packed in like beer mats under a wobbly pub table to keep all the stones in a nice line. And in the post hole over there, associated with the fill, there were some pieces of Roman pottery which could be reconstructed to make quite a large pot. Number 4. So the fourth sign that we might have found a Roman villa is something called a hypocaust. Rosie, can you tell me what a hypocaust is and what that might look like in the ground?
So a hypocaust is essentially underfloor heating, where you would have stacks of tiles called pile, where you have a fire, and these stacks create air underneath the floor for the heat to be spread throughout.
And we've also found what we think might be the box flues, is that right? That would have channeled the air up into the rooms above.
Yes, so box flue are like tunnels going through walls, which mean that you don't have to have the hypocaust under every single room. It allows you to control the heat, so rooms that wouldn't have the hypocaust directly below would be slightly cooler, and it also allows you to heat upper rooms on the second floor or third floor or whatever. A box flue tile specifically is a flat tile that on one side has almost herringbone grooves, and that helps it stick to the wall when you are trying to plaster it to the wall.
So this is a really clear sign that we've got quite a fancy Roman building here, because even my flat in London doesn't have underfloor heating, so we're looking at something pretty fancy by this point. So number 5, the fifth sign that we may have found a Roman villa is not the building itself, but all the stuff that may have been inside. Over the last week we've made some really, really lovely discoveries, including a Roman hairpin and lots of pottery. I know, Michael, you were here when the Roman hairpin was discovered. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I can. It was found by a very clever young man, Jacob, and it was initially just the head of it sticking out, which was beautifully decorated at the top, made of bone, it's roughly this sort of length.
But it's amazing that the whole thing has survived
there.
and managed to get it from point to tip. It's a beautiful little thing.
That's lovely.
I love imagining the Roman woman who must once have worn it in her hair, sort of reaching around and thinking, oh no, I've lost my hairpin. But 2,000 years later, Jacob found it, and it brought the whole team a whole heap of joy, didn't it? To see that come out.
It did.
We found loads of Roman pottery as well, all sorts of different vessels, so big ones, little ones, cups, bowls, beakers.
Rough Samian.
Yeah, Samian ware. And we're starting to really get all the different pieces of evidence of this Roman building, the structure, but also the stuff inside that the people would have used in their daily lives. And so there we have it. We've come to the end of our week-long excavation out here in East Yorkshire, where we've been looking for the remains of a Roman villa. And we have found so many different pieces of evidence that suggest we might just have found it. We've got the roof tiles, we've got the floor, we've got the pieces of mosaic that we found scattered all over the field. We've got the pottery, we've got the Roman hairpin, and of course we've got that all-important underfloor heating system, which is a real telltale sign of a high status building. It's been an incredible week, and it's thanks to our venturers from all over the world that we've been able to make these incredible discoveries. Our next step is sending off all the artefacts for further analysis by specialists, and we will be back in touch as soon as we have news and any results. I can't wait.